Hello everybody and welcome to Papillon. Been having a bit of an explore and it's just a quick video this week, but it's something that I have noticed and I thought I'm going to ask questions about, and that's portals. How often do we see a portal? What do they look like? Hopefully be able to show you one. So for some time I've been looking at this. Like a delta shape in the middle. Then we can look at it differently and say this line here could be like a big Y. Have we got an X and a Y? Have we got a bit of fuzz arc, which would be this one here coming along, going up, down here? I think that means change. You can also see in this shape here, and this one here, this line coming through, you can see protection. Many different things. As a whole, it's a three-dimensional shape, and it's all part of the same thing. And this tree, from what I understand, in the middle, all the way up top. It's a bit wild, isn't it? So this tree is the battery. This is the tree that gives the energy to this portal. So I believe it acts like a battery. This is a one-way portal. So they come in from their dimension into here. This is what I understand. There's another part to it over there. Distinctive X shape again. See that shape in the middle? And that comes across here. It's all linked, all attached. Come around the back of this tree again. So I asked Athenian, is this a portal? And the answer I received was yes. Yes, it is a portal. I then said, is this a portal that you would use with your physical body, turning into an orb, orbitally rearranged bodies? And I assumed that was what they did, that they came from their physical, from their dimension, into our dimension as an orbitally rearranged body, ORB, the orb. And the answer is no. Quite the reverse. They are in their orb state, in their dimension, and they come into this dimension in a physical body. That takes place here. So to go back into their dimension, they don't use the same portal, from what I understand. They use another portal, which is in the area I used to call Dasub's area. It's now very, very difficult to access because of the fallen trees. You still can get there. You've got to be you've got to be careful. Got to be very careful. So it is an unusual array and collection of sticks. We see this all the time. An X along what looks like a flagpole. Let's have a look at this. That's only about, well, that is about, sorry, it's my bag in the background. That's about 2 foot off the ground, that break. Give you an idea of size. I think these things take different shapes, different forms. So if you were to see a collection of trees in a funny bend, funny shapes, may look completely different to this. This is to what they need, for what they need. And where do you find, I'll try and cross this little stream without falling in. That'll be funny. Oh look. Oh look, fancy seeing that. So we've got this sort of stuff here. But where do you find this in a forest? 4 parallel branches, limbs, placed together. It is a very deliberate action, very deliberate patterns. There's nothing special around here. There is a stream, which I'm wondering if that gives them energy. So I'm hearing no, not really, it just happens to be there. So I don't believe that these are identical. I think that they are just what they are, where they are, and they may be a shape given on what they need that shape to be. And we just call them shapes, but I think they have different meanings. Leaners, pointless leaners, pointless to us, but obviously very, very necessary for them. This stuff, that's all within this stone's throw, and right beside where my backpack is, things like that. That could easily be coincidental, and I wouldn't take that on its own and say, oh look, but when it's close to this kind of stuff here, is that really an X? Is it really a Y? Is it nothing of the sort? Just wonder what you think, folks. But I understand, I've had a good conversation with Papillon about this, and I understand this is a portal. Like I say, it's a one-way portal coming in from an orbitally rearranged body into being over there. So this is when they come in their physical. Obviously these trees, they're not just going to fall over and bend themselves. Somebody has to do this in a rearranged thing. They have to allocate energy to it for whatever they mean, whatever they want from it. Thought, energy. They don't just happen by themselves. I'm not going to wave a wand and there it is. It has to be done physically. So this is them coming in, creating a portal. So there must be another portal for them to come here and create this portal. Entrance and exit points, Sally. That's what they're saying. And this is an entrance point. Correct. Correct. There we go. We'll see if we can find some more along the way. I have to say, while I'm saying this, as I'm looking around here, I'll do it very, very slowly. Fully aware of being observed while I'm saying this. Fully aware of it. I'll have to have a closer look during the edit phase. Okay, let's move on. We have that bend of a tree. Now the portal, you can just see, it's just through there. There's another delta shape here. You can just see it leaning against the side of a tree, right in the middle there. I'm wondering, not necessarily like points of the compass, but here's another one here. See? So is a portal one here, one there, one to the other side of it, other side of the portal. What you need to see is if there's a one over here that I've missed. So that's the portal. That's just a leaner. It's not what I'd call being created specifically. Because they're definitive, they're shapes. Let's just see. So this is on the other side of it. And I don't see any more here. What's that? Don't see any more of those, but there's this thing. We've seen this before. I don't believe that that is by accident. Now if we look up there, that's where the portal is, right in the middle there. So we've come right round the bottom side of it. There's another one of these here, little ones. I was just wondering if they were connected, seeing that the upside down V-shaped trees. This was the one that I was trying to show you before. They're right in the middle. I wondered if they were connected, if they happened to be providing energy of some kind, or gateways. It's hard to know. been very difficult to get information regarding portals and things, and I wonder if it's only because now we've had time losses, and I'm understanding that that is why there's a time lapse here, because of the portal. So if you have a forest nearby where you live, can you recognise any of the shapes that I have shown you that I found in here? Have you seen that in amongst your own forest? Or are these specific to this country and this forest? That's a question. Oh, hello. Lenas. More Lenas. I think perhaps the area this forest covers, it's quite large, but the areas that some of your forests cover could be the size of our counties, you know. We're a small country, so I think everything is in perspective. I've seen this exact shape in another area of the forest. That and a Lena heading up here, and then these are not growing, these are just stuck in the ground. That one is just stuck in the ground. That is just stuck in the ground. All providing weird shapes and energy. I wonder what that means. I wish we could get to the bottom of what a lot of this means. But sometimes I wonder if by them telling us this information, it would be like me giving you on air the key code to my safe or my front door. Just stupid, wouldn't it? You wouldn't do it. Just looking at the leans on these trees. So see the angle, say, of these here. Angle and the one behind it. And then we've got some more here, all at an angle. I'll try and put some overlays. Just interesting. Eventually they all come to deltas. So let's, for example, take this Lena here on the left. On the left, follow it all the way up to that tree. Up there, see? It hits the tree. Then we'll come back down again. And we've got a little, this is where the big fat birds have been in. Little Lena, one up that side, propped it up. So they're against this tree in the middle. So let's look at this tree. Let's zoom in on this tree. So first of all, moss, stripped. Moss, stripped. Moss, stripped. Tiny bit. Remainder is all almost stripped. So the Lena to our left, the first one that I showed you, let's have a look at that one. Well, it looks a bit mouldy at the bottom. Sorry tree, but you do look a bit mouldy, but in a nice way. Completely stripped, devoid of bark, completely devoid of bark. Then we come across here and we look at these three. So the one across the bottom here, completely stripped of bark. And then we've got this one here, which is this in front. I'm trying to show you this one here. It's going up that way. That is completely stripped of bark. And look where it meets. So, our friend on the left here, this one, right up the tree, that goes up in the same tree in the middle, and then our little friend here comes down the side. There we are. Meeting on the same tree. I'll try and do some graphics on this. And then we've got the one on the right, so that's this one here, heading up, completely stripped, and its friend beside it, in the middle, completely stripped. And they're both meeting on that tree there, in the middle. And how interesting, look where that light is shining on that tree. Fascinating, now that we're talking about this. So, the tree on the left, right up to the top there, and the tree on the right, follow that right up to the top. They both meet, separate trees, round about the same height. Then we've got a downward V shape in the middle. I just think that's quite interesting. There's something a bit uniform about that. I wonder what you think. And is our light still shining up there? And I'm hearing that the parallels create more energy. It's just communications again. Communications and portal energy. That tree is the one that shines like a beacon throughout, where everything else is in darkness. This doesn't look like it's dark, but believe me, it's very dark. The camera compensates and adjusts the light. So as we've been talking, these trees are now creaking, and they weren't doing that before. Might just be the wind. Who knows? Does this look normal to you? You could try taking a pen and drawing it. Do you know what it reminds me of? Old-fashioned electrical switchboards, where you had wires coming in and were raised, and then they went down. You know those really old radios, the Bakelite radios, with the massive big valves, and when the valves were switched on, or the radio was switched on, it hummed until it warmed up. And it's like the wiring and the soldering that used to be in the back of those. I'm afraid I was that kind of kid that wanted to know what was going on in the back of everything, wanted to know how it worked. And I needed to prove that once those valves were hot, that if you put your fingers on them, you'd burn your skin. Given what we were showing before about some trees having their bark stripped, do you think that this is a significant tree, or is this pure coincidence? What do you think? What do you think? Oh, as far as you can go up, that tree has its bark stripped. And then I'll step across to this side and look at this one to its left. Would that be significant, perhaps? Future use? Just while we're on the subject, so this is similar to the other one we've just seen. No bark, snapped. So has that tree there replaced the use of this tree here? And then we've got oddities like this. So do you think this would be natural? Who knows if it's natural? I wonder if that's natural, or whether that's had a little help. Always look for these sort of knots in trees. Sometimes I think they're natural, and other times I'm not so sure. This is right beside the track. You can see the track in front of me here. Oh dear. So this one here, this is about 13, 14 feet long. And you've got this one here, also similar length, 13, 14 foot long. This one is a short house. It's only about 6 feet long. And what's at the end of it? That's what I mean about portals. We just don't know enough about this. I don't know if we're ever supposed to know about it. But there's no harm in having an inquisitive mind. This is somewhere else we have given our gifts to, and look around here. That is new. All of that creation is absolutely new. Anybody can go back over the old footage of that particular shape. Wow, they've been busy here. Let me come round here again. We have gifted here before. Do you remember the shape? It's taller than me. Look how busy all that area has become. They've been very busy here.